We're joined now by Bridget Ziegler, co-founder of Moms for Liberty. You guys, Bridget, first of all, thanks for joining us. You've been in the center of the media onslaught here of late. But I first became aware of the organization Moms for Liberty where I live in Franklin, Tennessee, because you guys were so outspoken in fighting against mask mandates and ensuring that kids were back in school. You were 100% right on all that. I've been a fan of your organization ever since. I was one of those parents, not a mom, but a dad who showed up and fought for liberty for my kids in their public school in Williamson County, Tennessee here. Did you ever think that being a mom and fighting for kids would end up being such a controversial position to find yourself in?
Well, it's two things. I think it's, I'm not surprised in the education space because the left has had a domination over K-12 education for decades. I'm a school board member still in Sarasota, Florida. That's Tina and Tiffany, who are also the co-founders and still leading the charge at Moms for Liberty, also school board members and moms. So we saw behind the curtain. So this was before necessarily everyone knew it was happening. But what I find hilarious, though, is how desperate the left is to come back and regain control by trying to disparage parents, moms and dads who have never been active in the political process, who are just fighting to protect their children. But I can tell you the national summit that we just had in Philadelphia, these moms and dads are fired up. They're not backing down. And I think it has the left really scared.
All right, so I wanted to call for Jen Psaki here and let you respond to her. Play that clip.
Since the height of the COVID pandemic, schools, teachers, and administrators have all become the target of right-wing anger. First, it was the restrictions to their reaction to COVID restrictions, which then morphed into outrage over the teaching of race and identity and outrage over CRT, critical race theory, which rapidly turned our education system into the front line of the right's ongoing culture war. That anger no doubt sparked the rise of organizations now focused on taking over school boards, pulling books from the shelves, and changing curriculums in schools across the country. In fact, according to a 2022 report from a nonprofit that tracks censorship in America, 70% of those organizations were formed in about an 18-month period, beginning at the start of 2021. Among the largest of these new groups, which you may have heard of, is Moms for Liberty.
Again, I think the disparagement is their desperate attempt to try to change. You mentioned earlier about the book discussion. I have them here. We show them around and walk around with them to illustrate to people what we're talking about. Because notice, the left never ever talks about what it is that we're trying to get out of our public schools. They try to make it sound like it's all innocent. The reality is that at the beginning, when parents were getting involved and they would read these items in the paper or hear someone like Jen Psaki make this accusation, it has only grown the movement more because these are people who aren't used to being in the paper. I've been in politics for a while now, so I'm not used to it. But these are people for the first time who have been vilified and incorrectly disparaged. And then they go and talk to their neighbors, and they go talk to their neighbors because they know each other and they know that they're caring about their children. And it's only growing the movement. Even more so. In Florida, we're really fortunate for the leadership that we've had, and Governor Ron DeSantis and our state legislature been able to put laws in place where we're able to protect our students. And a lot of places across the country are trying to follow suit so that we can restore education back to our children's focus, academic basics. It's across party lines. Over 60% plus of Democrats, independents, and Republicans all believe education's on the wrong track and they want to get back to the basics. And that's what some Moms for Liberty is fighting for.
Yeah, Bridget, we were just talking about Disney and the idea that we would have ever had a woke Walt Disney company seemed crazy. You mentioned Florida and the battle with Ron DeSantis down there. What do you think as a parent? Because I've got 3 relatively young kids myself, and I'm kind of in disbelief that we've ever entered into a place where when a new Disney movie comes out, I have to think, oh, is this age appropriate? Should I even take my kids to go see it? Isn't that kind of emblematic in general of the newfound struggle that parents find themselves in? We don't even know hardly who our allies are.
100%. So I have 3 children under the age of 10. And so the same thing goes, there are certain established areas or companies or organizations that you felt safe. School was one of those places, by the way. And all but not, we're finding that we have to pull back the onion and vet everything more meticulously, because there are specific agendas being pushed that are really intended to sexualize our children. They only have a short amount of time to be kids, and we need to fight very hard as parents and as grandparents and aunts and uncles to protect the next generation of leaders so that they can enjoy their youth, understand how to be critical thinkers, and build upon those foundations without having these sexualized liberal agendas put in their throat through organizations and public education.
You know, Barack Obama, Bridget, shared a tweet out where he was decrying all of the book banning that is going on. And this, of course, is meant to be a shot at not just DeSantis policy in Florida, but organizations like yours claiming that you are banning books. What is the reality of the position of Moms for Liberty? And when the left, whether it's MSNBC, Obama, or the Biden White House, talks about book bans, what are they really talking about?
So at the end of the day, the word is used to sensationalize and create emotion to people where they want to stop the conversation and not really get down to the depths of what parents are pushing back on, what the material is that is so alarming. I'm now on the advisory board for Moms for Liberty as initial co-founder, and one of the aspects that we talk about is truly just about ensuring that parental rights at every level of government. And that includes to make sure public education has the barriers and stays inside those guidelines that is respectful of all the diverse communities that we serve at a public school.
Bridget Ziegler, VP of School Board Programs at the Leadership Institute and co-founder and advisory board member of Moms for Liberty. Bridget, keep up the good work. Thanks for being with us.